This is a practical guide on how to build an aesthetic body for guys who want real advice from someone who's been on this journey themselves. My name is Christian Apostle, and I started my fitness journey around 1 year ago with the goal to build a cool, lean, attractive physique. A physique that looked like the models on the men's fitness magazines. And while I'm not quite there yet, I think I've gotten a lot closer and I can help you do the same thing. Okay, so what does it mean to train for aesthetics? To train for aesthetics means to train in such a way that sculpts an attractive physique, rather than spending your time maybe trying to build strength and mass, but not in a proportioned aesthetic way. We want both the strength and the cool looking physique. This is going to be done by prioritizing the V-taper, having broader shoulders and a smaller waist. To create this V-taper, there are a number of muscles we need to build, but the main ones are the lats and the lateral delts. Having big lats will help to create the width and the V-shape from the back, which can also be seen from the front, and developing your lateral delts will help to increase the width of your shoulders and thus have the illusion of a smaller waist. The reason why many people who've been going to the gym for a while and have even gotten quite strong don't have an aesthetic physique is because the traditional exercises like the squat, bench, and deadlift aren't necessarily the most effective for building the lats and lateral delts. My number one exercise for building big lats would have to be the pull-up and the weighted pull-up, as they took my back from this to this. However, a lot of people perform pull-ups in such a way that puts more tension on different muscle groups, such as the biceps and brachialis. To effectively perform pull-ups in a way that targets your lats, have a wider overhand or neutral grip, retract your shoulders, have a slight arch in your back, and have full range of motion. Once you're at the point where you can do more than 12 pull-ups, start adding weight and treating it like other weighted movements, trying to progress and increase the weight over time. I'd recommend doing pull-ups twice a week whenever you do your back workouts. I also know that a lot of people don't have access to a gym, which makes the pull-ups a great exercise as you can do them at home. You can buy one for like 10 or 20 bucks like I did, or you can find somewhere safe that you can do pull-ups. Now for lateral delts. In my opinion, side lateral raises are going to be the best exercise to build your lateral delts. You can do them with dumbbells, cables, or basically just anything heavy enough that you can grip onto. If you're training at home like I did for a while, filling your backpack with heavy books is a great option. Again, however, there are right and wrong ways to perform the side lateral raise to optimally target your lateral delts. When you're performing this movement, lean forward slightly as this shifts the focus from your front delt to your side delt. Raise the weight up until your hands are about shoulder height. Instead of thinking about bringing the weight up, thinking about bringing the weight to the side, like you're trying to separate your hands as far as possible. This will help to shift tension from your upper traps to your lateral delts. Also think about moving the weight with your elbows instead of your hands. This is another helpful cue to engage your lateral delts. Once I hit failure doing lateral raises, I like to incorporate partials to get even more of a burn. I also tend to use drop sets to further increase the intensity. Okay, so now that you know how to build the V-taper, let's talk about other muscle groups that contribute to an aesthetic physique. The main ones are going to be your chest, abs, arms, and legs. Let's start with the abs. Well-defined abdominal muscles are the showpiece of a trained body. There's a reason why every guy has watched an abs in 6-minute video, and why girls are so impressed when you have a nice six-pack. Even if you already have a solid base of muscle mass and even a V-taper, having defined abs will just take your physique to another level of aesthetics. Now, even though your core is used in big compound movements like the squat and the deadlift, isolating them with specific isolation exercises is just going to help them pop even more. The upper abs are usually going to be a lot more developed than your lower abs, so doing exercises like hanging leg raises is a great idea. Now to hit the obliques, which are the muscles running on the side of your abs, bicycle crunches are my go-to. Finally, doing planks is just a great way to work out the core in general. Now let's move on to the chest. The chest is a key component of an aesthetic physique for several reasons. It's one of the most visible muscles in the upper body and plays a huge role in defining the overall shape and proportions of your physique. It also makes your V-taper look even better. Developing your chest to the point where you have defined lines separating your pecs and under your pecs will do wonders for your aesthetics. In virtually any horizontal pushing movement like the bench press, incline dumbbell press, and the machine chest press, your chest is going to be worked. Just pick one compound lift and progressively overload it to get a bigger chest. Doing 5x5 bench press is personally what grew my chest the most, but you can experiment and see what works for you. Generally speaking, most people's upper chest is going to be less developed than the rest of their chest, so it's a good idea to incorporate a lot of incline pressing movements to maximize your aesthetics. Now, if you're working out at home, push-ups, push-up variations, and dips are great ways to target your chest. Now let's move on to the arms. Unless you're wearing long sleeve shirts, your arms are always going to be visible. so any progress you make is going to be very noticeable to others. Having muscular and well-defined arms can instantly catch attention and create a visually appealing aesthetic. This is going to be achieved by developing your biceps, triceps, and forearm muscles. For biceps, pretty much any curling variations such as dumbbell curls, incline curls, and preacher curls will work your biceps really well. To grow my triceps, I do tricep pushdowns and overhead tricep extensions. You can try other tricep exercises such as close grip bench or skull crushes and see what works for you. For forearms, you want to hit your brachioradialis and wrist flexors. Hammer curls and reverse curls are going to do a great job at developing your brachioradialis, and wrist curls such as behind the back wrist curls and cable wrist curls are going to be great exercises to develop your wrist flexors. Now for legs. You never want to be the guy that has a well-muscled upper body but puny chicken legs. It's just not a good look. Like arms, your legs are almost always visible to others, so by having underdeveloped legs, you're going to definitely decrease the aesthetic appeal of your physique. Now to grow them, you're mainly going to want to target your quads, hamstrings, and calves. For overall upper leg development, my favorite exercise has to be the barbell squat. For hamstrings, RDLs, and calf raises. No. For hamstrings, RDLs, and leg curls are probably going to be your best bet. And for calves, my go-to are standing calf raises. A lot of people neglect calves, but since they're always visible when you're wearing shorts, it's a really important muscle to train. Okay, so now that you know which muscle groups are the most important for aesthetics, we need to talk about bulking and cutting. To achieve the Greek god aesthetic look, you first need to bulk up and build the muscle, and then cut down to reveal the new muscle that you built. When building this muscle, the most efficient way to do this would be on a lean bulk. If you're like me and you can't be bothered to track your calories, just gradually eat more over time in order to bulk. Once you're at the point where you've built your desired amount of muscle mass or you've just gotten too fat, it's time to cut. I'd recommend bulking for at least 6 months, with your cut lasting anywhere from 6 to 12 weeks, depending on how high your body fat is. To cut, eat in a slight calorie deficit, around 200 to 300 calories below your maintenance. Again, if you don't want to track your calories, just gradually eat less food over time. An important thing to keep in mind is to keep your protein intake high, as this is the building block of muscle. Okay, now for workout splits. When you're working out, you want a weekly schedule to know which muscle groups you're going to train on each day. This is called a workout split. There's a lot of different types of splits, like the push-pull legs, the bro split, and the Arnold split. Personally, I use the push-pull leg split, which is when you train all your pushing muscles like your chest, triceps, and shoulders on one day, all your pulling muscles like your back, biceps, and rear delts the next, and legs on the day after. The bro split is when you train each major muscle group once a week on different days. There's also the upper-lower split and the full body split. Those are pretty much the main ones that most people use. Now, if you're just starting out and wondering which split you should go with, I would recommend the push-pull leg split, 6 days a week with 1 rest day. But if you don't have the time to work out 6 days a week, you can try the upper-lower split, 4 days a week with 3 rest days. Okay, so that's pretty much the end of the guide. If you want a complete workout program, which includes exercises, sets, reps, and helpful tips, and which personally helped me go from this to this, I've released my personal workout program on my website. It's a push-pull leg split, and included in the package is also my home workout program and a habit guide, which will help you get into the habit of working out. It's on sale right now for 15 Australian dollars, which is about $9 US, and I think it's really reasonably priced for its value. If you're interested, it'll be the first link in the description. But if you want to support my channel without buying a program, I'd really appreciate if you hit the like button if this video provided value, and subscribe if you want to see more helpful fitness content like this. See you in the next video.